July 1997. A phone call came to Steve Jobs, home. On the other end was an Apple board member. "We fired Emilio. Steve, won't you come back?" An urgent voice came through the receiver. Jobs gripped the phone tightly. 12 years ago, he was exiled from the company he created. That wound had not yet healed. But something stirred within him. Could I let Apple die? The stock price had plummeted to less than 1/10 of its peak. Cash flow was critically tight, with a growing sense of crisis that we won't last at this rate. This company that once changed the world now stood at the brink of extinction. Product variations had ballooned to hundreds, losing all focus. Everyone was certain of Apple's end. 12 years earlier, 1985, Jobs had effectively lost power after a struggle for control. Soon after, he left Apple. But his passion had not died. He created Next, revolutionary workstations, technology to change the world. For 12 years, he continued to prepare. Then in December 1996, Apple announced the acquisition of Next. Jobs began walking the path back to Apple. September 16, 1997. After the Next acquisition, Jobs, who had grown his influence as an advisor, was appointed interim CEO. His first task was reviewing the product line. An aide reported, "Product variations, hundreds of types." Jobs fell silent. In his mind, two choices clashed violently. A. Keep everything. Protect short-term revenue. But focus remains lost. The path to decline unchanged. B. Cut boldly. Mass layoffs would be necessary. Revenue would plummet. But there's a chance to save Apple. Choose A, and he could protect his position. But Apple would remain a mediocre company. Choose B, and his own position would be at risk. But there's a chance to save Apple. Jobs closed his eyes. And then he decided. His hand drew 4 quadrants on the whiteboard. Consumer desktop. Consumer portable. Pro desktop. Pro portable. Apple will make only these 4. The conference room fell silent. The board members pushed back fiercely. Everything is a revenue source. This means mass layoffs. The shareholders won't allow it. Jobs answered calmly. If we continue like this, everyone will lose their jobs. The following week, September 23, 1997, Apple's product line became 4. From hundreds of variations to 4 platforms. A historic decision. But that wasn't all. Jobs had another decision to make. Partnership with Microsoft. This was a difficult decision. Apple and Microsoft had been in fierce competition for years. But Apple had no cash. Cash flow was critically tight. In his mind, 2 choices clashed violently once again. A. Protect pride and refuse partnership with Microsoft. But the cash shortage won't be resolved. B. Abandon pride and accept $150 million from Microsoft. Difficult. But it could save Apple. Jobs took a deep breath. And then he decided. August 6, 1997. Macworld, Boston. Jobs stood on stage. Today, Apple and Microsoft are forming a comprehensive partnership. Microsoft will invest $150 million in Apple as non-voting stock. Additionally, this includes continued office support and patent cross-licensing agreements. The venue erupted. Boo! Part of the audience began booing. Jobs silently accepted it. But Jobs' battle was far from over. Product cuts. Microsoft partnership. Next, brand revival. In 1997, Jobs launched the Think Different campaign. A passage from the iconic Think Different copy spread across the world. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the ones who see things differently. Apple was a rebel brand. Jobs returned to that origin. And then May 6, 1998. Destiny began to move. Jobs unveiled the iMac. Translucent Bondi blue. All-in-one design. A computer no one had ever seen before. The iMac is the Macintosh for the internet age. The venue erupted in enthusiasm. August 1998. The iMac was released. A record-breaking 800,000 units sold in the first 5 months. One of the most successful products in Apple's history. And Apple was reborn. But Jobs didn't stop. October 2001. iPod. April 2003. iTunes Music Store launched in the US. Later expanded to other countries. Dominated the music industry. And then January 9th, 2007. Jobs changed the world. Today, Apple is announcing 3 revolutionary products. A widescreen iPod, a revolutionary mobile phone, a breakthrough internet communications device. These are not 3 separate devices, they're one device. We're calling it iPhone. The venue rose in standing ovation. From 1997 to 2011, for the 14 years until he left. Apple's market capitalization expanded dramatically. From a struggling period to world-class market cap. From the brink of death to one of the world's most valuable companies. October 5, 2011. Steve Jobs left this world at age 56. But what he left behind will never disappear. From 2024 to 2025, Apple's market capitalization reached the $3.6 trillion range. Market cap rankings fluctuate daily. Yet the fact that it rose from a 90s crisis to world-class status remains unshaken. In 1997, a company with critically tight cash flow. And now, facing a new wave called AI, it challenges reinvention once again with Apple Intelligence, inheriting Jobs' DNA. So what can we learn from this story? First, the power of focus. From hundreds of variations to 4 platforms. The courage to let go of everything reclaims everything. Second, survival over pride. He partnered with longtime rival Microsoft. It was difficult, but he survived. Third, the weight of decision. Jobs bet everything. Failure meant losing everything. But without deciding, nothing changes. And finally, the weight of time. For 12 years, he continued to prepare. And in 14 years, he revived Apple. Finally, I want to ask you, every business faces crisis at some point, but only those who learn from crisis create the future. If your company stood at the brink of death, what would you have the courage to let go? Pride or survival, which would you choose? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining me on this journey. In this video, we relived Apple's comeback story. But this is not a story of the past. At Blueprint of Giants, we extract strategies and wisdom you can use today from the decisions of history's great figures and companies. When the next crisis comes, you'll be ready. Subscribe to continue learning the blueprints of giants. And hit the like button to share this story with someone. Until next time.